Hey y'all, it's Leah. I am back with another in our series of making an ideas book where we're creating templates of different junk journal elements that we can refer to in the future. So today we are going to do this tuxedo pocket. So it starts with an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper, but really you could, depending on the size of pocket that you want, you can scale up or scale down. It really doesn't matter because there's not necessarily measurements that go with it. But what it is we end up with a pocket here, and then we have one here, another one here, and then we have a little flip right here that you could decorate depending on what kind of paper you're using. I didn't add a ton of decoration to this. I might, when I put it in my journal, I might add something to it, but I'm not really sure because the patterns are super busy. So I might just kind of stuff it full with things. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started on making this. Just put this over to the side. So I'm just using scrap paper just a piece of scrapbook paper that I had. But when you're going to do this, you're going to want a double-sided paper. This one is not. This is just single-sided. But since it's going in my ideas book, I wasn't too worried about that. But you're definitely going to want the two patterns to be able to show, just to have some contrast. Okay? So what you are going to do is you're going to have it on the side that is going to be facing up is going to be what these parts are. So your front, kind of the tuxedo part, the shirt part, kind of that. The bottom is going to be this back piece, okay, and then this piece as well. Okay, so I want my outside. No, is that right? No, take that back. When whatever is on the bottom is what is going to end up showing here. Sorry about that. I'm confusing myself. So that will be showing up here. The whatever's on the top is going to be this back part. Okay. So I do want the pattern part to be showing on there. So what you're going to do is you're going to do kind of this tri-fold, but you are not going to fold it all the way to the side. So see how I have this gap? It's about an inch gap. It really doesn't matter how far away you are. You just don't want to go all the way to the end. Let me move this up so you can kind of see where I am. Okay. So we're just going to we're going to crease that. Then we're going to open it up. Okay. And now I'm just going to draw a line so you can kind of see. So I have a crease here and I have a crease here. So what I want to do is fold these corners onto that crease basically. So we're going to fold that one and then we're going to fold that one. Okay. And then you're going to fold it in. So that's making like your little vest part. And you can do this right over left or left over right. It totally doesn't matter. So whichever way you want to do it. Okay. So then what you're going to do is you're going to fold the bottom up and you're going to come basically to that V. But again, it really doesn't matter. You can have it lower if you want. And then you're going to give this a good crease at the bottom. Okay. So this was the most confusing part to like try to put into words. But basically you're going to open this up and you want to slice open this little pocket. So you're going to cut just here and here. Okay, because you're trying to make that into two parts. So you're just going to cut there and then flip it over and cut there. Okay. If you were going to ink, you're going to want to ink at this point for most of it. So because as soon as we do this, we're going to start gluing. Okay. So if you wanted to ink this, then I would definitely go ahead and do that before it's all glued down. Okay. So now what we're going to do, so now these are two flaps, really three. Okay. We're going to pretend that we can even kind of close if you want to. I just found that was a little bit easier to have that glued down. That way it's not flapping about. Goodness, I am all butterfingers today. Okay, so now we are going to fold this up, and that's what we're going to glue on the sides. Okay, so that's making one pocket. Then we're going to fold this one up, but now we're going to fold this flap down. Okay. And I'm not doing this super crisp or anything, but you'd want to trim up. I'll probably trim up the sides. So now you're going to take that little flap, you're going to bend it down, and you're just going to glue here and here and put that on there. So now you've got this flap here. Okay. Yeah. Let's go ahead and neaten that up a little bit. Even though it's our ideas journal, we still want it to look cute. And just trim that up a little bit. And then trim that side a little bit. Okay. All right. So that's all there is to it. So now you have all of your pockets. So you've got your big pocket here. You have one there, one here. And then you can like tuck something. You can clip something. You could even, if you don't want this to be, a full, if you don't want it to be a flip, you could even glue it higher and then just have this little flap come down just so you have some contrast. So that's totally up to you. If you don't want to do any of that, just leave it, leave it glued, leave it folded like that. So it's up to you, however you want to kind of make that work for your journal. Okay. All right. So let's grab our directions. So, fold an 8.5 by 11, but again, it can be smaller or larger. You just gonna want to have a rectangle, not a square. I think is going to work better. And then you're going to fold it almost in thirds. You're leaving, it could be a 1/2 inch gap. It could be an inch gap. However much, it doesn't have to be perfect. Then you're going to open it up. You're going to fold those two top corners in just to their creases. So the left into the left crease and then the right into the right crease. And then fold that bottom part up to about the point. If you want to go lower, absolutely do that. Remember, there's no rules in junk journaling. That's the only rule. Then you're going to cut apart the bottom side creases, just those side seams or creases, and then glue the back part to make your pocket, and then fold that front flap down and then glue this part, that part down to make this pocket. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and get this into our journal, our very full journal. I've had some people comment, they're like, you really need a new one. And I think I'm heading to Texas for the next 3 weeks. And so I think when I get back from there, I'm going to be working on making a new one. I'm excited. I get to go see my parents for a couple of weeks. We get to celebrate my dad's 75th birthday. My parents, their 54th, I almost said 34th. That would be odd, since I'm in my 50s. So my parents, 50, gosh, I keep saying it, 54th anniversary. And so I haven't been with them for an anniversary or my dad's birthday. They're a day apart, in forever. I think probably since I moved to Oregon from Louisiana. So I'm really excited to do that. I'm a teacher, and so I have been a teacher. I'm taking a year off, and so I've always been, close to starting school and usually doing some pre-service things. So I've never been able to go down at this time of the year. So I'm really excited for that. So anyways, I'll just be doing one video a week for the next couple of weeks, and then we'll kind of see how things go. So I appreciate y'all watching. Please leave comments. I love reading them and answering those. And let me know if there's something you'd like to see. All right, see y'all next time. Bye.